Strange things happen when you're making a video game. You get a team together and you decide that maybe you're going to need that team to stay together for a while to produce DLC and continuing evolution of whatever it is that you've worked on. The problem is nobody wants what you've worked on, and yet it seems like you've got a whole team strapped in and ready to push it for years to come. Don't know what I'm talking about? Well, talking about Concord here on That Game Place. Hi friends, it's me, CC, with one of the great ones here, Stone Cold Loki. How you doing, Loki?
Doing pretty good. Watching the trash fire burn. Nothing more exciting than that on a Saturday.
It's so true, and we've got so many stories related to this one game in particular, Concord, which we've been talking about for quite some time, and I am surprised, Loki, that they are managing to push this forward in the way that they are. And this headline from John over at That Park Place, the sister site to us. Concord lead character designer claims developers are strapped in and ready to push it for years to come. Loki, are you ready to watch and play this game for years to come?
No, I don't think we're going to be seeing this game for years to come, much less playing this game for years to come. I think it's DOA.
Oh, I think it's more than DOA, but we've got more stories coming up, folks. In fact, they may be out there right now. You can catch them right up there. But John Wisniewski, the lead character designer for Firewalk Studios at Concord, attempted to sell the game by claiming he and the development team are strapped in and ready to push it for years to come, meaning there was more stuff that they wanted to do, Loki. And I think your assessment of it being DOA, well, we'll get to that soon enough. But in an interview with PC Gamer, Wisniewski touted the game, stating, Concord has so much humanity and depth to it. I really hope people give it a shot. Isn't this just a bounce around combat game?
That's what it is. There's supposed to be vignettes coming out every other week describing and explaining the characters. I don't know why we have vignettes coming out when they could just do that within the game, but they're doing this the dumb way.
Okay, well, speaking of the dumb way, he added, insanely proud of the game. We're strapped in and ready to push it for years to come, meaning that there's more to it. And it's unlikely, according to John, that the game will be around for years to come, given the game's concurrent player counts in its early access beta and open beta, where players were able to play the game for free before it hits the market for $40. Interestingly enough, Loki pointed out to me that you can go and pick this up for how much, Loki?
$30 over at Green Man Gaming, GMG, if you like. There's a couple other sites that have it on sale right now. I don't see games go on sale right after they come out, but this being the exception because they really want to get rid of it.
Well, they're definitely getting rid of it. The early beta access only had a peak player count of 1,124. Now, mind you, this is going to be a different number than what we're reporting later when it comes to when it actually released. So stick around or check out the video that I'm pointing at right up there. But when the game was in open beta a week after the early access beta, the concurrent player count peaked at just 2,388 people. So not all that many, but again, it was widely available to more people. So not all that much joy, I would say. This means that the player base actually increased by 112%. However, sub 2,500 peak concurrent player counts is not good for a free open beta game that will cost, again, $40. I don't know anybody that's going to pay full price for this. I have a feeling this is going to show up on a lot of like services. Like, do you think when this comes to Xbox, it'll be on Game Pass? Do you think it's going to be on PlayStation Network for free? What do you think, Loki?
I think they're begging for a deal and will take whatever money they can get to have it on a service like Xbox Game Pass or the PSN Network.
Yeah, I think you're right. Keith Eilers Stevenson at True Trophies claimed that the number of players who played open beta compared to the early access beta on PlayStation actually decreased by over 8%, since we were just looking at the Steam charts there. But he wrote, using a gameplay data sample from over 3.1 million active PSN accounts, courtesy of our partnership with Game Insights, we can see that Concord has 8.1% fewer players in the second open beta than the early access beta. Wow. In our PlayStation chart, that ranks the top 40 most popular games every week. Concord ranked in the 29th position both weeks. Okay, strange.
I'm surprised it got that far.
That's a little higher than I would have expected. But not only do the players on both PC and PlayStation seem uninterested in this game, those who did play it were not impressed. YouTuber Dreamcast Guy, that's a good name, described the game as Walmart brand Overwatch. It's a hero shooter that doesn't really have any of that spark of crazy originality. Well, I don't know. Look at that character model. Isn't that original, Loki?
I can't. I'm just shocked. I can't believe they would go this route. Anybody would go this route. If you want to make an Overwatch like game, that's your decision. I would go with something more original. But if you want to do it, you think it'd be a little more crazy, a little more marvelous. Not this.
Well, and again, I mean, this is the only character model that maybe needed a little bit of extra thought. But YouTuber Angry Joe was also unimpressed. Wow. I can't believe I'm going to agree with Angry Joe. He said, how's the game? It's mid. It's not worth $40. Everybody's saying this, and it's true. It would be great as a free-to-play game because, to be honest, it does have its moments. The graphics usually look good. It has some great character animations, some good facial expressions, but there are high-quality cutscenes even if the story is not all that interesting. So, in other words, the story is terrible, but it looks good.
I don't see it, but that's what Joe thinks. That's what Joe thinks.
That's right. Well, the maps are not memorable, he added. Pretty much every single other hero shooter has better maps. Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, which is not great. These maps aren't very good, so that's a problem. And then finally, I didn't feel much of a sense of progression, which is really bad for a game like this.
That's a huge problem when you feel like there's just no progression. That immediately feels like a roadblock in your gameplay. You want to reward your players for playing. You want them to have a fun time. And if they aren't, I feel bad for you.
Well, isn't it strange? Because I think normally you'd want to get like drops in game and some other things that would help you build out your character or at least differentiate them. But look, even Reddit takes the game to task, which is rare because Reddit likes to protect certain ideologies, whenever they can. And it's been torn apart for their ugly character designs. User GPE Tracus declared Concord might have the ugliest character designs I've ever seen. And
that's saying something.
I can't argue with that. I mean, I've looked at all of them and I've been like, wow. Others agree, saying, yeah, I'm not too keen on the character design either, but I'm also tired of the Pixar toon look that most team shooters have had since 2007. I agree with that too. It's like they asked ChatGPT to make Overwatch again, but strip it of all identity. Oh, wow.
That's sad.
Another posted piss yellow, moldy green, wine purple, and blue lipstick. Who the heck thought this was acceptable color palette need to go? Nah, I would say that's probably accurate. So it's not just on Reddit, it's also on X. Manga Lawyer, who has been quite outspoken on this game. Concord is a new progressive and modern shooter for PC and PlayStation. It features 5 black women, 4 aliens, 3 robots, and 1 white man. It's incredibly diverse and non-heteronormative. Plus, it has pronouns. Are you excited?
No.
That's a good question. Are you not excited, Loki?
I really don't care. Like as long as the story's good and as long as the game's fun, you could be King Kong, Godzilla. You can be anything. You don't have to be a certain color or a certain gender or whatever. As long as the game's fun and it's enjoyable, that's all that matters. And guess what? This game is boring and full of pronouns and ugly. Why would you want to play it?
That's good. Former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern also stated, Concord, the new game by Firewalk Studios, this is over on X, is so focused on inclusive teams that they forgot the white guys in their game. Inclusive should not mean racist against white people, but it often does. Jeez. As noted by Grumps, not only does Firewalk make it clear that they are pushing inclusion as a value at their company, but Wisniewski has made it clear he's a woke activist. Wow. Back in 2020, he responded to a post by former Bungie lead programmer Piotr Kotevsky, who stated, thinking that all white people are unconsciously racist is the same thing that thinking that all black people are unconsciously lazy. Interesting.
What is he trying to say exactly there?
Well, we'll find out because the response is ridiculous from Wisniewski. Says, this is an oversimplification. The sentiment being expressed is that whites must acknowledge their privileged position. No, That's super racist.
Oh, wow.
And then actively work for equality. Also incredibly woke. It will be hard and confronting work, but if we don't, we're complicit. And complicity allows systemic racism to persist. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. It's being systematically this propaganda is being systematically utilized to undervalue people who have merit. Look, we can go on and on here because there's much more to say. Because in another post, he's like, I'm not accusing you, myself, all whites of being Jim Crow racist. I also don't think anyone hearing it should immediately take it that way. Whites in America have always had an advantage in our social economic justice systems just because we're white. This is also a lie. What about poor white people? What an idiot. You know what? I've had enough of this. All I know is that no matter what this fella says, this Wisniewski fella, I won't take it with anything but like the grain of salt it should be accepted with, because I don't believe there's any depth to this game. I also don't believe it'll be around for years. Loki, I'm going to give you the final word on this one. What do you expect or think of this game being around for years to come?
You brought an ugly, lazy game to gamers, and they have said no. We do not want your ugly, lazy game that wants to teach us right from wrong and shame us and point a finger at us and say, look how horrible you are, just like your little comments on X or wherever the heck you make them. We're tired of this. We just want to have fun. We want to have a good game. Genders don't matter, obviously. Look at Tomb Raider. Look at some Bloodborne. Look at some of the best games on the market that have multiple genders to choose from, where you can be a guy or a girl. None of that matters. As long as the game's fun, as long as you're having a good time, that's what matters. And when you build a game on the backbone of, we're going to make these huge, ugly players that wear blue lipstick and act completely weirdo, like, we don't want anything to do with that. We just want to have a fun game. We don't want to be shamed and taught things in our games.
Yeah, and I think everybody's tired of the proselytizing and the lecturing and the sermons that are being thrown at them by all these studios, and it doesn't matter if it's a game studio or entertainment studio. So thank you, Loki. I agree. Well, folks, what do you think? Do you think you're going to enjoy the years to come coming from Concord? Or do you think this is largely something you'll skip and you'll go back to playing, well, Overwatch or some similar? Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure to hit the like button, do all the things. Make sure you're still subscribed. If you're not subscribed, there seems to be a large percentage of you that are not. Please do so now. It's free, and we're trying to grow to get to 10K. We're trying to do that rather quickly. We can only do that with your help and with your sharing of our content, so please do that as well. And as always, get your game on.